You said that to you yesterday's decline was no surprise. What about today's pop, which is quickly fading now? What does that tell you about what investors' strategy should be?
Well, I think when you decline the amount we did yesterday, have some sort of bounce is not out of the ordinary at all. Actually surprised that the bounce isn't holding a little bit better. We'll see where it goes this afternoon. But look, we were very overbought, as I heard in the last interview, and I agree. We had some speculation creep in. It felt like because the market was a V bottom, that the economy was off and running. And while it is off the bottom, don't make no mistake about that, it's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be bumpy. We get some secondary cases of coronavirus. We've got I'm more concerned about the election than the last interview. China, where is that all going to go? So I think it's going to be a lot of puts and takes, and we're going to have a volatile, sidewise collect our whereabouts, if you will, and digest some of the big gains we've seen.
Yeah, it's tempting always to write a headline that tries to explain why, in one, sentence, why the market did a particular thing on a particular day. I think 90% of the time they're wrong. But you just touched on a few things. How much do you think the market is reacting to coronavirus-related data that's new coming in versus reacting to the Fed or to political polls?
Yes, meaning all of the above. Look, I think the coronavirus news probably was the catalyst. Because remember, the Fed chair talked the day before, and that didn't cause some big sell-off. And the polls are not brand new. But I think it's only in the last few days that participants are starting to focus on we could have a Democratic sweep. And I think that means noticeably higher taxes for corporations, for high income and high wealth individuals, some re-regulation of some of the regulations that's been taking off. And, that'll be a big change. I don't think the capital markets will be real appreciative of that. So it's a collection of things, along with an overbought market that was ready to have, the pin put in it for a while.
Yeah, it's almost as if there was an overarching headline. It would be more uncertainty for the markets right now, which I think, Bob, is why I wonder, when you do see dips or you do see pullbacks like the one we saw yesterday, do you buy? And if so, where in the market?
Yeah, so my view, Morgan, is we probably have some more downside to go. Look, I don't want to get overly religious about that because the bottom is in. It's not like we're going back and test that bottom, in my view. If I have dry powder on, when you see the market down 7%, I got to buy a little something. I think you need kind of both and not either or in the portfolio, meaning I want to own some health care, the AbbVies of the world, Cigna, Humana, but I also want some exposure to the economy, whether it's Target or Qualcomm in the semiconductor space. You need some of both. Just make sure you check your valuations and you've got reasonable assurance on the earnings side. The market got kind of expensive and probably still is.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on the other big discussion point of the week and really as of late in general, and that's retail investor activity. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that we were hearing that it was a concern that retail investors weren't more involved in this market and the possibility of missing out, being underinvested, especially younger adults. Now we're starting to see the surge in retail. And mind you, part of the reason it's been a discussion point has been some of those names that we've seen retail investors pile into as of late. But how do you think about that shift? Is it good? Is it bad? What would you say to some of those perhaps newer investors in this market?
I would say overall it's good. We've got a lot of cash on the sidelines. We've got those players that perhaps weren't around before. They just came on so fast in the last, few weeks, last few days. And you saw that with the speculation, the bankruptcy stocks, some of the new issues that were already expensive. And so that's part of the pin pricking the balloon for a piece of time. And we just got to relax here and do our homework. It's not just because it's up, I'm going to buy some because it's going to be up more tomorrow. The whole FOMO thing can get people into trouble.